Well, let me zoom in. I'm going to start here with the tournament fact sheets. When it comes to this course information, this is the best place I think you should start. These have all the data points you want to use in your research. If you're unfamiliar with how to get here, you just go to the gcsaa.org. You can't really see it all that well, but you just come to this website, gcsaa.org. Scroll all the way down to the bottom. You're going to see media room, and you're going to see tournament fact sheets right here. You can see me kind of wiggling my mouse. Click on that. That will get you to the tournament fact sheets. And from here, you just go to the PGA Tour. Whatever tour you actually want to look at, you can see it up here. You go to the PGA Tour, and boom, John Deere Classic is right there. I'll close this one, and obviously I have it up. So data points that I think are somewhat important. Let's start with the most important one. To me, when it comes to these data points, it's the turf grass. That is by far the most important stat that I'm looking at because golfers play better on different grasses. Another important one that I'd look at is probably average green size. Actually, you know what? From the turf grass, this is like most important. I'm going to put this at A tier of importance. B tier would be like green size. That's like a B tier data point, if not even like a C plus tier. I don't really care too much about that. Yardage is important to me, so I'd call this like a B tier when it comes to your research. You use par 71, that would be like C tier. Stimp meter would also be around the C tier when it comes to importance. Again, this is just all importance. And then you can also use the architect, which in this case, if it's not a Pete Dye, Tom Fazio type of golf course, I think there's a couple other ones that I would actually include. Can't think about the top of my head, but D.A. Weibring. That's like maybe a D tier. You know, if we're doing weights, I'm putting 2 out of 100 on this. Maybe not even 2, maybe just 1. So this is where you can come for data points when it comes to research. And I kind of just gave away what I feel for the importance of these research points. Of course, you could use Illinois, because that's where we are, Silvis, Illinois. Any golfer that played at the University of Illinois or who came from the Midwest, probably decent at a golf course like this. You could also use TPC Deer Run as one of your research points. Well, obviously you'd want to, and that would be an A tier data point when it comes to researching. Speaking of the golf course, I do have kind of a shot shape, or if you want to call it like a mapping type of research when it comes to shot shaping. So basically what I like to do is I look at every green, I look at the golf course in its entirety. I look at tee shots from, you know, I would say the most difficult placement or the most difficult tee box, because obviously the PGA Tour is going to set them up on different tee boxes. So I'll look at like the most difficult or the most challenging, I guess, tee box and determine what shot shape is preferred. Not what is required, what is preferred. Because a preferred shot shape is going to give you your best scoring opportunity. So I first look at the off the tee stuff. If there isn't a shot shape that I see off the tee, that's fine. I'll put any. That's what you see on here. And furthermore, when it comes to the greens, so I like plot out where golfers will hit most of their approach shots from. And when I look at the shape of the green, and I look at some of the bunkers that might be guarding the greens or any water that might be guarding the greens, I look at it from a competitive golfer standpoint, because I am a competitive golfer, to see which shot shape is probably the best to get it as close to the hole as possible, avoiding trouble, or just trying to slot in, you know, a ball to one of the more tucked pin locations that the PGA Tour might have. So again, this isn't necessary. This isn't required shot shapes. This is just based off of scoring potential. That's why I put the shot shapes up there. So as you can see, it's pretty even. You know, if you're kind of like reading the screen right now, it looks like just one draw off the tee when it comes to shot shapes off of the tee, or when it comes to draws off the tee, and one fade when it comes to shots off the tee. When it comes to like the approach shots, there's actually a few. I mean, this is more than we saw last week, and probably more than the Travelers Championship. I have 7 different shot shapes than just whatever one you want. So there's 3 draws that I see into the green and 4 fades that I see into the green. And again, these are preferred. You don't have to use this if you don't want to. If you do, I do have on the cheat sheet a shot shape column. It's not completely filled out. I have to admit, this whole year I've kind of neglected this piece of it. This was when I first started kind of podcasting, I was really into watching every shot and recording every single type of shot shape for each of these golfers. But with these new golfers coming into the tour, I really don't have their shot shapes. Like Ludwig Aberg up there, I don't have his shot shape. I also can't remember what he does off the tee. I know I remember watching Peter Quest, and I don't know where his price tag is, but he was hitting draws all over at the Rocket Mortgage Classic. So if I can find him, I'll update it. But I don't remember what Aberg did. There's a couple other golfers here that I couldn't tell you off the top of my head. I'd have to really look. I do know Taylor Montgomery hits fades. Probably one of the uglier golf swings on tour, in my opinion. Just throwing that out there. I think also Patrick Rogers. He used to hit a draw, I know that for sure, but I bet he hits a fade too. And it doesn't matter. I don't remember off the top of my head what some of these golfers do. But if I do know, I will update it. And if you guys know, let me know, because then I will update it accordingly. I just found Peter Quest, by the way. So you can use the cheat sheet to figure out some of these guys' shot shapes. And if anything, use it as a tiebreaker. Do not use it as like a primary source to choose your golfers. Because again, what I see with the golf course, it's like both shots would be great. If Max Homa was here, this would be a good golf course for him because he gets to utilize all the different types of shots that he has in his repertoire. Yeah, any other one that had like a shot maker, I think is a best type of golfer for this course. So with that being said, that's kind of the course information of this segment. Going into the tournament information, just some key points. Really, I guess let's go back to my results page. We can look at the winning score and try to determine. You could use this as a shot shape. So basically your average winning score, if we just eyeball this, is going to be around 21 under, 21 under. The lowest that we've seen is 27 under, which came from Michael Kim. And the highest looks like came from Bryson DeChambeau at -18. If I average all this out, we get -21 on the button. So -21 is the winning score. So we kind of got another birdie fest on our hands. If we scroll down and look at the cut scores, like the average cut score, -3 in 2022, -4 in 2021, -3 in 2019, -3 in 2018. So basically, it's just one better than the scores that I am highlighting right now. So, I mean, it's like -3. -3 is basically what we want. So you can use those for data points as well. So where the average cut score is around -3 or better, and then the winning score is around -21 or better. You know, like 18 to 21 would be fine if you wanted to, or 18 to 24 if you want to widen your search. Those would all be good data points to use. Going into more of the tournament information, we have a strength of field rating of 182. This is really low. This is like alternate field low. I can't remember a PGA Tour event currently this year that has had anything under 200. I thought the Rocket Mortgage Classic was going to have something low, but I believe they had like... Let me pull it up. I have to pull it up anyways for our review. So let me pull up the Rocket Mortgage Classic. Can't remember off the top of my head what it was. Um, 2023, let's see. 281. So this is 100 points weaker than the Rocket Mortgage Classic, which is kind of crazy if you think about it. So that's one data point you could use too when it comes to strength of field. Now, some people aren't going to have the same strength of field ratings as me. So whatever site you go to, just use whatever their strength of field is for this. I kind of exclude the home tour bonus that the old strength of field points used to give. So like if you're using Rick Run Good, for instance, his is going to be like 7 points different than mine. Most likely. Mine is always around 7 points off. And that's because I don't use the home tour bonus, which I don't know, it's a bit redundant, but sometimes with models, you do want to be a bit redundant to really find the best data. So anyways, 182. You're going to have 156 golfers in this field, and the cut's going to be the same, top 65 in ties. So use all of that to your researching purposes. If you so choose, you don't have to. I really don't. I don't have the capability right now because I don't use anyone else's site. Just use my own data, and strength of field isn't used, but I would use strength of field when it came to my my researching. So that covers the tournament and course information, or the course and tournament information.